Welcome back. If you are a SolidWorks user starting to use Autodesk Inventor and you want to create some assemblies, this is the video for you. I will cover things that are key in order to jump into the software and start doing progress on your designs using Autodesk Inventor. Okay, so let's start by the beginning. And the beginning is to create a new assembly. I will go into my new option, create new file, and we are going to have the assembly templates. I'm using Autodesk Inventor Professional 2025. And well, we have the mold design templates. Those ones, you are not going to touch those for now, maybe in the future, but for now you can concentrate on the standard assemblies that are called standard. Then we have the weldments. Those ones as well are going to be useful in the future. And yeah, as you can see, we have different standards. So those assemblies complies with a certain standard in a certain way. There are something that inside them are different. I'm not pretty sure. For me, I have seen that the triad is oriented differently against what is the top and the bottom and left and the right. And of course we have the English, or let's say the inches templates. So we have all these three in here, but I will jump into create a standard DIN assembly. Okay, so being here, there are some stuff that are extremely basic, that are how to place a part. Okay, so we have many options in here, maybe too much for this video, so I will cover just the placement. Okay, so when we insert a part, as you saw, I just selected from the folder, and it is waiting for a point where I can drop it, right? So it's exactly the same as SolidWorks, and in SolidWorks we just go and click on the check, and the part goes, the first part or whichever part, we click on the check, and then the part goes to be assembled fixed at the origin. So the way how to do it here in Inventor is by right clicking and select place ground at origin. There you go. You are going to see this pin at the icon of the part, and it also says fully constraint. It can't be more explicit. Okay, so this part is at the origin. That means that the work planes are going to be coincident in between the work planes of the part and the work planes of the assembly. All right, so in SolidWorks there is something interesting, and it is that when you have parts open and you go into the assembly, let me show you. I have these two parts open. When you go into the assembly, you click on the insert part, you're going to have those parts available to select from a list, right? Well, something that happens in here, one of the ways to do it, of course, is by just selecting the thing on the folder. You can click at here at the top of the model tree on the part and just Control C or right click and copy. That's not going to create a copy of your part. That's going to insert the part in here. Then right click and paste, and there we have our part. And you can do it for many parts as you want. Of course, you can have them in that way. That's one way. The other way is by opening the folder and just dragging the parts inside Inventor on the graphics area, and they are going to drop as well. Okay, so that's how we insert parts in Autodesk Inventor. Now let's talk about the constraints. We have three different types. Very quickly, we have the joints that are mates that includes more than one constraint of your degrees of freedom of the part. Okay. Then we have constraints that usually only does it once on 1 degree of freedom. And then we have the option for assemble, this right in here, that is a little bit, is the same results as constraints, but it is more dynamic. I will show you in a bit. Okay, so let's start with the joints. Joints are very interesting to use because they are capable to identify the center of the face or the center of the edge, or as you can see, I'm changing here the direction of this one, as you can see. So it is selecting the center of this line or this edge, and it is taking it perpendicular to the direction of the edge. Okay. You can select many points on circles. So one tip in here, I want to select the point that is at the center of the cylinder of this hole. So it's a little bit hard to do it. So what I do is just wait for the program to show me the options for the selection, and then I just scroll up and down, and then I have access. The other way is by clicking the Control key on your keyboard, and the thing is not going to disappear. So I can just select this one here, and it is going to be selected. Okay. Powerful tool. It can identify slots and also round slots. So as you can see, I'm having here the option of selecting the center of the slot. Same thing with cylinders. We can select the cylinders. You should be careful with the ones that has chamfer or fillet. If you want to select the top, you need to place your cursor at the top of the cylinder face. And well, the same thing happened here. Well, I'm going to make this part against the center. That easy. Depending on the selection, the software is going to show you or pre-understand what you're doing, and it's going to suggest you one of these types of joints, depending on the geometry, as I said. Okay, so in this case it is rigid, but I could select rotational. It is going to rotate around the 2 points that I have selected. Then I can do a slider. I can do cylindrical, which is kind of funny. Planar, that part can translate on the plane, and the ball. It's cool. Okay, so I will leave this one as rigid. I will just click OK. So that's the joints. So very powerful. This these joints requires an entire video for them to go over all the options. So stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing that. That's what I pretend. Okay, so once more, let's do this one extra. So as you can see, the software identified the cylindrical option, and it is going to give you the option of control the angular rotation, and as well as the linear constraint, the translation of that pin along this axis. So you can set limits, let's say minus 20, and then 20 for make something symmetrical. And on the angular rotation, we can just say, okay, you can rotate from minus 10 to 10 degrees, for example. So I will click OK, and well, it is constrained on those limits, right? So I cannot show you the angular thing, so let's make a feature in this. So how do we modify parts directly in the environment of assemblies? You double click the part. It opened the part because the part was already open, so it cannot it is not going to let you modify a part inside the assembly if the part is open. That's pretty smart, to be honest. Avoid you to have two of the same part on modification at the same time, making troubles. Okay, so I will double click, so the rest of the thing become like a shade mode. Even though I think you can force the transparency as well as in SolidWorks, so I can say nope, you guys should all days be solid, nothing transparent for right now. And the only way to know that we are modifying the part is because, one, I'm working on assembly and I'm having tools for 3D modeling. Doesn't sound right? And the other one is that you're going to have a grayed out of this area. As you can see, just this area is on a solid color. Okay, so let me push back this change on the transparency, and let's do something else. Okay, so I will create a sketch over this plane, and let's say that, well, yeah, why not? We're just going to make a hole in here. It is spending one constraint. I will click here in constraints. If you want to see how to 3D model, I have a video for SolidWorks users that needs to try to migrate to Inventor. Here is the link, so here at the top, so you can watch that video as well. Okay, getting back to here, I will hold on. Nope, save is not required for this. Okay, good. So I am trying to rotate. I'm dragging the part, but as you can see, I only can rotate on the limit that I already gave it with the cylindrical on the piece. Okay. So let's insert one more of these ones. I will copy, paste. Oh, well, you know, if you have the part already here, you just click it and Control C, Control B. I mean, Control C, no clicks, Control B, yeah, the same result. I was clicking on the graphics area just to make sure. Okay, so let's go with constraints, which are more than obvious. So we have mate, angle, tangent, insert for cylindrical features, and symmetry. They are self-explained by the name, but yeah. So let me do this very quickly. So as you can see, this is taking me some mates and sometimes some clicks. So joints, if you can use joints, just go for them. Okay, so as you have noticed, we do not have graphical information as we do in SolidWorks. When we select a face or select a part, we're going to have a pop-up, or it's called breadcrumb, the name of the things here at the left, or they can also be close to the cursor. I have a video about that. But in Inventor, it will, I would say, yeah, these options may vary a little bit depending on your selection, but for now, I have a selection that selects parts and subassemblies, parts that are at the top level, and subassemblies that are in the top level, so subassemblies. How do we make this more interesting? Well, we have here the filters. And for the filters, we have part priority, body priority, feature priority, which is the one that I'm going to use right now, and faces priority, as well as the sketches and annotations, but those ones are not that important. To be honest, I work in between component priority, part priority, feature priority, and face priority. I think those are the most relevant ones. And you will see why I I'm saying that. One way to have this filter more close to your cursor is by selecting the Shift key on your keyboard and right click. You're going to have the same selection. So I use this a lot. It's very, very powerful. So I will click on feature priority. And as you can see now, it is highlighting the features by themselves. So if I double click on one of them, it's not working for a reason. Let me check. I'm on feature. I am. Okay, so faces give me these two options. Of course, the part is open. Sorry. Okay, come back. Now the part is closed. I go to features and double click, and now I am modifying the feature. Autodesk Inventor. Yeah, and that's of course is something that makes total sense. Okay, I will change this from specific distance to a true whole bucket. So I did some modifications on it. So I'm still modifying the part. The way to get out of this, to the, let's say, go up one level is by right click and then finish edit, or in here you can go just return to top, straight return to top if you want to go all the way up, and if not, return to parent. If this is a subassembly inside an assembly, then you go one level up only. Okay, so let me do a very quick slot, just because I forgot to show the slider, and I think that one is a pretty important one. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I lost my microphone for a second, and I need to make sure that this thing is recording. Okay, so I already did my sketch, and I have the slot, and I'm going to call the extrusion with the mouse gesture. Look at that real-time thing happening. Okay, so here is something important. Yeah. Okay, so let's make this one. Oops, sorry. I will just, I want to just delete this, so I drag it in this direction. I could use the true all option. Now I have the same part with the modifications that I was gonna try. Okay, don't forget to change or be aware of what is your selection filter, because that's going to impact your work. So I will copy again this part, but this time I'm going to use the assemble option, which is in here. But this assemble option, in combination with the correct filter, you're going to simply do it faster than ever before. So here is the option of select faces and edges. And when I select the face, I will have this option available. And look how interactive this thing is. So I'm just going and going, and finally going. And the problem was identifying the different types of mates that I was requiring depending on my selection. That's way much faster than using constraints, to be honest. So I would say, on a scale of quick and convenience, I would say the most quick and convenient way to do the things is by joints, then use assemble, and the way that I show you, by selecting filters and selecting the faces and edges, and at the end, the constraints, the regular constraints. Don't forget it. At the end, you're going to have the same mates type as on constraints with the assemble option. I will change once more my filter option because I want to show something that is, for me, it's very key. I will select part priority or component priority, it doesn't matter. And I will click the part with a right click, and you will see this option of show relationships. It is too long. It is always at the top. Okay, well, here, show relationships, which is also this one, show relationships, or you can hide relationships. What is this? So we do not have the breadcrumbs, that's okay. Breadcrumbs are usually by default at the left top, but in here we can just turn on symbols, some symbols that are representatives of the different mates that we have. So if we right click each, or well, one of them, you will have different options and in between them you have edit, of course. So well, you can do an offset maybe. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that easy. I was not going into the model tree at all. I'm doing this, and you can double click it, by the way. I have just noticed. You can double click it and then you enter to the thing. You can also drive them, which is pretty good. So as you can see, this value is 10, let's say 20. There you go. Pretty cool. Yeah, and you can also run collisions and all that, but that again, that also requires an entire video. So how did I turn it off? Well, if I turn it on, when I right click, the next option that is going to be available is hide them, right? So I just do the mouse gesture the same. So all this thing happened with all the parts, all the mates that are related with the part are going to show up if you do that. The other way is to show the entire thing. Show all. Is there no show all? Oh, forgive me. Okay, so yeah, you go selecting each part and just show the things that you need. Okay, so we covered 3 types of mates. Explore them, and I encourage you to try all of them. All right, so let's go into this list. So when you are on for the first time in Inventor, probably you are going to see this icon for create derive subassemblies. But if you click on the arrow, you're going to have all these options. These things are very powerful, and one of them is the save and replace. For example, let's say that this piece at the center doesn't require the slot. So what I do is to create a copy. Well, we have many options now that Inventor has become a really powerful tool. Have many options, but well, okay, so one of them is to use the save and replace. So this makes a new copy. So I will just change the name of this thing to 4. There you go. Yeah, sure. Okay, so now it is called different. It is a new part, and if I double click it, enter in here, maybe use the filter selection for feature and then delete this guy. Ciao. Okay, so there you have it. That easy. Straight to the point. And there are others that are also amazing. So it is important to highlight the existence of these tools. Maybe they require like 3 videos, maybe 5, but yeah. Okay, of course, there are other tools that are more than obvious, like bill of materials. I will do a separate video for bill of materials, maybe not concentrated on SolidWorks users, pre-SolidWorks experience users, but yeah, there are going to be a video. I'm planning a video for bill of materials as well. Okay, so this is most the overall thing, as I shown on the parts 3D modeling for SolidWorks users. The parameters works exactly the same way. And once again, you have the panel control for what things you want to have available during your experience on the user interface. And just in case this is the first time you see this program and you have not noticed, when you click the scroll, the thing is doing the pan, not rotating as in SolidWorks. You need to hold the shift key on your keyboard and just click holding the scroll, and then you have the rotation that you are expecting, just in case. Some critiques for Autodesk: they are doing many things, improving many things on Fusion, and do not including them in Autodesk Inventor. They have in Fusion the option to select the preset of the buttons on the mouse, so they have the option to rotate as in SolidWorks. I don't know why they are not doing this, providing this option in this program, which is amazing, to be honest. Okay, well, I hope this video had been useful for help you to start doing assemblies in Autodesk Inventor. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. That's how you help me to keep pushing on this project. And don't forget to like as well. Thank you so much. Cheers.